Hi guys, Ifiok here. Welcome to Ifiok Trades, where we actually talk about technical analysis, not as a tool of prediction, but as a tool to help you manage your profiting or your losses. Okay, so in today's video, we are talking about a concept that I drew from my Twitter handle, and we were talking about this stock, and we're talking about how it moved from pretty much a crash to accumulation to pump. Okay, but basically we're talking about a full cycle of pump, distribution, crash, reaccumulation. That's what we're talking about in this video. These are concepts I have always talked about, and how consolidation is pretty much either distribution and accumulation, and two things can either happen, either a breakout or a decline. We've been talking about this concept, but we're going to be looking at different charts as I'm talking about this concept. Okay, so don't forget to follow me on TradingView, and also ensure that you're following me on Twitter, and please subscribe to this video if you found it useful. If you also didn't find it useful, please also let me know. So let's just move straight right onto this. Okay, so we're going to be talking about pump, distribution, crash, reaccumulation. And this tweet actually started off with a Nigerian stock called Abbey Mortgage Bank, and I had put this tweet May 13th, 2026, when prices was right under here, right? So at this point, I mentioned that price looked like it was in accumulation. And what happens after accumulation is breakout or pump. And that's what we saw here, pretty much a proper breakout. And subsequently, price now even went even higher, looking like a pump. And so what could happen after this major pump would be the next level, which is distribution, and after distribution, a decline. So we're going to be looking at different other stocks that could have this in principle that is happening. So we'll look at about 15 or 16 stocks from different categories, from consumer goods. We look at banking, we look at financial services, we look at agro-allied, and we look at some ICT. Just wanted to go round some of those stocks just to see at what point or level they are at. Okay, for the first one we're starting off with, we'll start with the NGX Group. Now the NGX Group monitors the 30 best performing, I think it's either 30 or 50 best performing, I think it's 30 best performing Nigerian stocks, right? And that is what it has been performing fantastically since like November 2025. This has just been going up, you can see. So we're in a pump right now, talking about what we are talking. So this was an area of accumulation, and after accumulation was this pump. So we're at the pump level of the NGX Group. We don't know how long this pump could last. That's the fact. The pump could move, it could continue going upwards, but I have some concerns about the pump, and it does look like it is dying out. My own thoughts, I could be wrong. It could just be also trying to reaccumulate to move higher, right? So that's possible, but I'll just say what I see in the market. So we're in pump right now. It is possible that distribution is going on. So when distribution is happening, it means that there are investors that are selling, they are selling, right? And if the sell continues and it becomes very deepened, then we'll have a major decline, right? So this remains to be seen what happens, but was always a perfect support at the point of a decline. If we go back here, if you notice, this was a pump, distribution happened, and then a major crash. What happened? It crashed under the 200 EMA, right? Area of opportunity, especially on the daily time frame, and it now, see this area started accumulating again before it started pumping, and then before it broke out, started pumping, and then we have this pump. So let's just go back here. So it is possible that we might be in distribution at this point. It remains to be seen. I'm not predicting, but I'm concerned that the money wave is turning negative, on the NGX Group. Okay, so let's move into banking sector. We'll look at 3 stocks from the banking sector and see. So pretty much same thing. This we're looking at First Bank. It's at 69 naira per share. It has been pumping. It's been pumping since December 2025. Prices have moved all the way up from about 31 naira to where it is currently at 69 naira. So prices can continue to move up because pumps, you cannot control when pumps would start or stop. But money wave looks like it's still in positive territory, but it's not looking too good, right? You look at all this strength and then now there's a bit of a decline. Price action is not showing that decline just yet, so it does mean that it's even possible that it can continue to go higher. But so this is a pump, a possible distribution, and if distribution after distribution is a decline, it's possible that it can decline. And where will it find support? Hopefully around the 200 EMA. So those are my thoughts. So let's look at GTCo. So this is in positive money flow. Still looks like it might still have some strength to move much higher. So we're in the pump area of GTCo. It's pumping, right? It's pumping. So if you look, you can see this is a pump. After a pump is usually distribution. Distribution will always lead you close to the 200 EMA, you know, and then, you know, after this is distribution, then decline, and then another pump, right? So we're in the pump era of GTB. It's possible I can continue to go upwards. I'm even a bit more optimistic about GTCo as opposed to First Bank. Okay, so let's look at Access Bank. What's going on with Access Bank? So the price action is currently at 24.70. What has happened? So this is very typical. So we had a pump here, we had distribution, major decline under the 200 EMA, right? We had accumulation happen all over here, then pump, right? And then it actually pumped a whole lot more, and distribution happened here, and another level of decline. So it has declined right now and is on the 200 EMA. I think is a point of opportunity. Money wave is negative, so I think that this is an area of opportunity. Any area around the 200 EMA is usually an area of reaccumulation or accumulation. So it's possible that it's going to accumulate here, or if it's not accumulating, then it could just be distributing to go lower. It depends on what happens in the future. I'm not predicting, I'm just showing you what these things look like. So this is VFD Group. Current price is 10.8. You can see there was a massive pump here, then distribution happened here, then we saw a decline, then reaccumulation happened, there was another pump, and then right now reaccumulation is happening, or accumulation is happening once again. It's possible that prices can even fall back down, but I feel like prices is consolidating around here, or there's an accumulation happening, and after this would be so I hope you're understanding this. I think I'm running through this pretty fast, but it's just to help you see what it looks like instead of it just being words. Now this is Guinness. Guinness is at 365.5. This has been pumping. Matter of fact, I did an idea for Guinness when Guinness was just 60 naira per share, and guess what? This was since March of 2025, when Guinness was just around between 60 and 70. This has pumped all the way up. This pump has not even gone anywhere close to the 200 EMA. It has just only been going up. So now the trend has turned bearish. So it could come back and reclaim that price action. But if you look at money wave, it's now in a negative territory. It does look like for Guinness, price action is looking for the 200 EMA. It could stay at the 200 EMA, or it could even go lower. It remains to be seen. And so that's what we're talking about. A pump currently in distribution. Is possible it could continue to decline. After a decline, another accumulation. After accumulation, pump. Then after pump, distribution. After distribution, decline. That's how the market works. Okay, so this is NAHCo. Same thing, has just been on a phenomenal pump since April 2025, and you can see it pumped over here. Price tried to move towards the 200 EMA, and then afterwards continue to move up. And where are we currently? It looks like we are in either a distribution or accumulative stage. Money flow is looking negative or is negative, and so anything could happen. It could try and look for the 200 EMA, or it could just be holding up, consolidating to move, or accumulating to move even higher. It remains to be seen, but I'll come back to this list in the future. Part of the reasons why I do this video is actually to also monitor my own thought processes as an investor, because I want to come back and say, okay, this is why I got into this trade, and I advise you to do the same thing too. Always have a plan of action. This is why I got into this trade, and this is why I left this trade. Very important to have. So this is Cadbury. Cadbury is at 69 naira per share currently. Money flow is negative. This does look like major accumulation to me, so both things can happen here. This could actually go higher. I have no way of knowing. It's very close to the 200 EMA, so you could want to decline. I have no way of knowing. I'm just showing you an examples in the market. So this is possibly an area of accumulation. It could go higher. It could also possibly an area of distribution, and it could come lower. It remains to be seen. So this Ella Lakes, this is one that I am pretty excited about, and this because there was this massive pump. If we see, this is one that has typical example of an accumulation era. So this was an accumulation for like 2 years, and then it finally pumped, and we had a massive pump all the way to over 19 naira per share. And currently we are in the distributive phase. It distributed here, and we are currently in decline. And so after decline is people now start accumulating all over again, and I think we are in accumulation for Ella Lakes, so it's possibly a perfect time to buy right now, because after accumulation is the pump. Okay, so this is Akumo Oil. Akumo Oil has been on a tear for a very, very, very lengthy time. My indicators are showing me that it has gone bearish. Well, it remains to be seen. Negative money flow is showing over here. Prices are 1,575. Anything could happen, but it does look like it has been in a major pump. It does look like it is currently in distribution, so it means that people are taking profits, and hopefully support will be found around the 200 EMA, and if it doesn't, that'll be a major decline. Okay, let's look at Aradel. So we've left agro-allied. We looked at Ella Lakes and Akumo Oil for agro-allied. So now we are looking at oil and gas. Okay, so this is Aradel. I remember calling Aradel at 710 naira. This was just around here last year, and I can't even believe that it has done this tier, but it has actually pumped a whole lot far away from the 200 EMA. So you have to know that at some point prices will definitely come back to the 200 EMA. It's just a rule of thumb. That's what happens most of the time in the market, and so most likely prices will come all the way down. So it's possible that Aradel is in distribution. It's possible after this major pump. See, it's possible. It's also possible, don't forget, this may have a distribution of accumulation, and the price still went up. So it's possible that this is distribution or accumulation. It's always difficult to tell what it is when price is not exactly doing anything. When it's just moving around a certain point, it's difficult to tell what it's doing. But the money flow looks pretty positive. It is possible that prices can continue to go higher. It's also possible that we are in distribution and prices can start to decline. It remains to be seen. Okay, so this is Seplat. Seplat has been on a mad tier for a long time. I think it's the most expensive stock we have in the Nigerian stock market at 11,363.9. And so currently it is still in a pump. It's possible that distribution has started to occur. It is also possible this could be accumulation, but it remains to be seen. This could be a decline. We have to wait and see what happens in the future. But I feel that left to me, if you haven't taken profits, this is a fantastic point to take some profits. The money wave is still very positive. So look at Caviton. This is another one that I think is in an area of opportunity only because it is around the 200 EMA. You can see pump, distribution, decline, accumulation, pump, distribution, decline, accumulation. Is in the points of accumulation right now. So let's look at NAHCo at 179.5 kobo, and you can see it has been on a complete tear. It's just now that money flow is entering negative territory, so this can be this could be distribution, and if it continues to come down, that's a major decline, but not to worry. Support can be found around the 200 EMA, and if it doesn't, it just continue to go a little lower. Okay, so that's for NAHCo, right? So look at transact, and let me just take out these tools. So I feel like this is in an area of, so this is a pump, this is distribution, this is decline, another pump, looks like some distribution, then decline. So we are finding support at the 200 EMA, and I'm inclined to believe that this might be a point of opportunity, but it remains to be seen. Okay, though. So, but yeah, I think it's an area of opportunity. Money flow is very positive. Alma Tech is also in a point of accumulation. It's just around the 200 EMA. I think it's a point of opportunity. He had had a major pump, some distribution, then decline, and now I think it's in an area of accumulation. It's 2 naira per share. Now this is one that is interesting. Well, let's just see. So pretty much I called MTN when it was like 170 naira per share. This was as far back as 2024, but it has gone ahead to travel. Okay, so yeah, this is just 2024, December 2024. Price action for MTN was at 170, and it was an idea of mine, and I literally took position here because I knew it was an area of opportunity, but I think I sold all that I had, just around 400, just around here. I stick to my plans, you know. Yes, it went even higher after then, but I just stayed true with my plan. I haven't gotten to MTN since then. So price has just been way up and above, has been in a massive pump since this decline area, and it's possible that it can continue to go up, but always know that price action would always revisit the 200 EMA. It does look like the money wave is still in positive, but there's a small decline over here. It remains to see what happened, and even if price action comes down, it's possible that it would hold at the 200 EMA, which will give you an opportunity to buy back. Okay, so that was a lot. That was a whole lot. That was a mouthful, but I felt it was important to do this video so it doesn't just look like I'm throwing out words on Twitter, so you understand the real concept behind accumulation, then your pump or breakout, and then distribution, and then decline. That's all that happens in the markets. And if you learn to enter the market at accumulation, you would be part of the people distributing. So that's the whole point of some of the reasons why I do this video. And I hope you found this useful, and I guess I'll see you in the very next video. So let me know what looks like opportunity here. Let me also know what looks like a danger sign here. What are you holding? What are you throwing away? What are you buying more of? Let me know. So I'll see you in my very next video.